Welcome back. I'm going to give you a taste of 3 different Qigong moves, energy cultivation moves, that you might like to try on and experiment and get a feel for what Qigong is like in your body. And as in the previous video, everything is based on Wuji, this standing meditative pose. So if you haven't already watched that video, I encourage you to do so. I'll just give you the very abbreviated guidance of feet shoulder distance apart, toes pointing forward, a slight bend to the knees so your kneecaps track directly out over the balls of your feet, sitting down with your hips, and stay with that until you actually really feel your low back open up a little bit. And then from that open low back and these descending hips, reach up through your entire skull, particularly the very crown of your head lifting upward. And settle into that, maintaining that lengthened spine. And then there's going to be some width across the shoulders as your shoulders rest down onto your rib cage. And your arms are by your side. There's space between the side of your torso and your arms, like a little space in the armpits. And you are really balanced in the entire center of your foot. And you can feel that your body is aligned with earth beneath you and sky above you. Yes. And then this first flow is going to represent the water element or the kidney element. So take your right hand and place it across your low back. The right palm is facing out behind you, and the top side of your right hand, you can give even a little rub into the region of your low back, also referred to as the Ming Men or the door of life. And then just rest it right there as a presence, as an awareness. Take your left palm, and with the arm gently rounded and the left palm facing up, you're going to pierce upward toward the right with your left fingertips. And then guiding your hand up over the top of your head, you're going to turn your left palm out as your left arm floats down. And that's the pattern we're going to follow. We're going to reach across the body, up overhead, turning the left palm out and sinking it down. And we're going to move slowly enough that it keeps our mind occupied to move at this slow rate. And we're going to add a little breath pattern to it. We're going to inhale slowly and deeply as the hand comes overhead. And once the hand starts to descend down to your left, you're going to slowly exhale, empty out your lungs. Let's follow that breath pattern. Inhaling, reaching up overhead. Exhaling, sinking down. So we're going to stay with that. And there's a few little additions we could include if we want. When the left hand sinks down, if you'd like, bend your knees a little more. And then when your left hand reaches across and comes up, lengthen your legs so you're rising up away from the ground when the hand rises, and you're sinking down toward the ground when your hand descends. And let's follow that pattern. Invite this awareness, this sensation through the entire left shoulder. Maybe back into your left scapula, shoulder blade, rotating around. And largely our hips are remaining forward, but we're welcoming movement up through the rib cage. And try that a few more times. And in Qigong, we're always looking for about a 70% rate of effort, 70% range of motion. The idea being we're expending less energy than we are acquiring. And that energy is coming to us through our breath. It's coming to us through the qi under our feet, traveling up into our body. And it's coming to us down through the top of our head, this yang qi in the atmosphere. Take a few more rounds here. This is for the water element associated with winter and the organ of the kidneys. Nice. And since this practice is very much about balance, bend your left elbow, slide your left hand onto the Mingmen, door of life, low back. Feel that your left palm is facing to the space behind you. Bring your right palm in front of your pelvis with the palm turned up. And then start to take your right fingertips over toward the left. Come up overhead. Turn your palm out and slowly come down. All right, so you might have some challenges, as I do, in the region of the shoulders. This happens to me, my cranky shoulder right now. So I'm making my range of motion kind and a little less. I'm not forcing. But by being attentive and relaxed, I hold the possibility that the range of motion might increase, but I also accept the fact that it might not. And if it feels inviting for you, again, to have a little pulsation or rise and fall with your body by bending the knees a little more as you sink down and lengthening your legs as you rise. Inviting the mind to stay present. What works for me, if my mind drifts off to something else, I don't judge. I just am glad that I noticed that I drifted. And I use kind of an extended exhale to journey back into the moment, feeling my connection to the ground, feeling the strength of my structure and this fluidity that I'm creating through my joints. Nice. Let's take one more breath together. Inhaling up overhead. Exhale. And when your right hand floats down, release your left hand from behind your back and give your body a little bounce. Kind of tap down into your heels, kind of creating a reverberation, a little bit of a ripple effect from this tapping into the heels. This gentle bouncing and letting it come all the way up, especially up into the shoulders that really just got some action. And then slow that down. You return to Wuji and observe. You can begin your awareness at the top of your head and just a gentle wash downward. Notice where you feel sensation, after effects of the movement, any way in which you feel a little bit more embodied or at home and present and aware within your body. Nice. And then we'll do a movement that is corresponding to the liver and the element of wood and the season of spring. We're going to bend the elbows, and I'd like you to feel your elbows and your forearms maybe in contact with your rib cage or the sides of your torso somehow. Your palms for this moment are facing up, and our lower structure remains the same as we have been. I'm going to take the left hand. As we start to reach it forward, roll your left palm to face down and extend your left fingertips forward along with your gaze forward. Extend the arm as much as feels comfortable, and then feel your left elbow, your left forearm come back along your rib cage, and then your left palm returns to an upward facing position. Same thing with the other arm. The right hand comes forward. Roll the wrist to face the right palm down and extend out any amount that feels good. As you draw that right elbow back, the right palm turns up, and you can feel that you're going to brush against the ribs. And then we're going to start to make that a little bit more fluid. Good. And be patient as it kind of imprints into your muscle memory. One of the kind of tricky things is to reach the arm forward without hiking the shoulder up. So we're trying to keep the shoulders relaxed and down. And we've got a steady but very calm gaze. You could pick a gaze point somewhere out in front of you. And then you're going to move this at a rate that feels good for you. And you're going to encourage a little bit of a kind of a rocking through the rib cage. So I'm actually allowing my ribs and my chest to turn a little bit. So when my left hand's forward, my chest and ribs are facing right slightly, and then come back. I think it could be best described as a rocking of the ribs and alternating. And there's nothing really rigid happening. We're fluid. We're breathing slowly and naturally. And we're traveling out in front of us. And then at times we've got an awareness of what's behind us as that elbow draws back. And several more times, just like this. And feel the sense of movement in your mid-spine. Again, through the ribs, through the chest, and a nice flow through your shoulders. Your hands are really relaxed, so they could conceivably feel like they're absorbing qi as you're moving through the atmosphere. There's a little space between the fingers almost all the time as we practice Qigong. And then we're going to slow that all down. Let's release the arms by the side. Give a little bounce if you'd like. Excellent. And then just slow that down. Take a breath. Notice awareness starting at the top of your head, flowing down your body. Sensing, feeling, welcoming sensation. And then we're going to shift into our third and final movement, which is cloud hands. There are a lot of variations, so I'm just going to demonstrate one and lead you through one that I think will be accessible. So we've got two hands representing kind of two layers of clouds. Your left palm can face the ground, somewhere around hip height, and then you can bring your right arm up. Find a comfortable lift for your right elbow. It could be shoulder height or a little bit lower, and then your right palm can face inward. Turn your torso toward the left, even just slightly. And we're going to travel left to right over and over and over again. So as we start to pivot, right, our feet stay steady, our knees are pointing forward, our hips are generally facing forward also, but as we bring the hands over toward the right, the hands change place. The right palm floats down to point to the earth. The left hand rises, and now you're going to rotate across just like this. And again, it's my recommendation to move maybe a little more slowly than would be your instinct, so that it takes concentration. And also when you're moving very slowly, you're doing a little more strength building, believe it or not, when you're moving slowly. Feel the hands trade places and continue. Invite that breath to be free flowing. And your gaze can travel with the hands, looking out toward the right. As your right hand sinks and your left hand rises, and then gazing between the hands as you travel around toward the left. And notice this exchange of position of the hands when they pass by each other. And be assured that you can do this with a milder hand position than I'm doing. So for example, your hands could be kind of much closer to your body. Your movements could be much more subtle, just depending on what gives you a comfortable range of motion. And then also, you could be more expressive with your cloud arms. For example, you could bring that top arm way up over and your bottom hand down low. It could be a larger expression with the arms, with a chance to kind of feel that top hand, those upper clouds over the top of your head, sinking down. go a few more times. See if you can have simultaneously attention to your footing that keeps you grounded. A nice expansive spine, that inner body spacious with the breath. And this feeling of your hands, almost like your fingertips are painting through the atmosphere. Again, you can have the advanced practice by a gentle smile on your face. Let's take another pass or two. Mark your completion with a nice easy exhale. Face forward. Roll your shoulders once or twice if that's helpful. Give a little bounce. And then become still. Find yourself in Wuji for a few breaths. And gently, kindly, with love and compassion and gratitude, scan your body from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. I invite you to experience your body as one whole field of energy, one field of qi, fully connected, fully integrated, fully supported. And thank you for joining me for this little instruction. Send you wishes for all the best, good health, peace, and happiness always.